que tudo bom?
Sometimes that is exactly how it feels to be an investor or day trader or swing trader on Wall Street or in crypto. You take one step forward, you get hit, didn't turn out to be the right decision. It causes you to go back. You turn around, make another decision, it hits you again, and you find yourself getting just smacked back and forth between trying to make the right call or the right decision in a trade because you're trying to get those bags. Now, I'm coming in today with some straight commentary on the meme coins. I was watching some other influencers make videos, and one guy who I like was just saying that the meme coins have only just begun, that a lot of them are going to 6x from here. And I took a step back and I thought, okay, is that the case? Are we really going up way higher than we just went? Is this just the beginning? Well, where do I turn for the answers? I got to go to the charts. I'm not a story believer. I don't get caught up with the hype. When people are hyping things, it often is a huge turnoff because I just don't believe the get rich narrative and I don't like to feel like I'm being influenced or fall for that. So, got to examine the charts. Now, when I spent some time on the meme coins this morning, because there's been a ton of money made, I'll tell you guys right now, I would say in this month alone, I'm probably going to pull out what would be equivalent to the annual salary of a middle-class working American doctor or a lawyer. I'm probably going to pull that out of the cryptocurrency market. And so the stakes are rising. I want to make good calls, and I want to leverage that pot into even a bigger position as we're moving forward. And so, guys, I'm in the same boat you are. I don't want to be getting smacked back and forth in any area of confusion and making the wrong call. And so I dove into the charts, and I'm going to tell you that I actually was kind of pleased and excited about what the charts were telling me. And I'm going to just come right out and tell you that I think there is another big leg coming up in this environment with the meme coins. But I want us to take a step back. And I thought, you know what, let me take a little bit of time to actually explain some of the meme coins to those who are following me who don't even understand why meme coins are being traded at all. Sometimes they're referred to as SHIT coins, crap coins. Do they have any value whatsoever? And I'm going to tell you, yes, they do. They have an enormous amount of application value in the world because right now blockchain is emerging, and in any environment you're going to find different ways that things roll out. And one of the dynamics is a popularity contest, okay? And I want to describe that for a minute. And I'm going to use politics as an example, not getting political here. But we know that in our great country, there are 360 million Americans. And some of those Americans are brilliant people who have solid families, solid careers with no moral failures. They're not going to be the individuals with their excellence who are going to run for the position of the White House, right? So it's not always the best person or the best candidate who even goes about and seeks those positions. And so, okay, what does that have to do with cryptocurrency? Well, it has everything to do with it, because what I'm telling you is that oftentimes the person or the individual that emerges to become the ruler of the greatest nation in the world, the United States, isn't the best candidate. And similarly, the best cryptocurrency isn't always the smartest blockchain or the breakthrough technology. There is this dynamic within human nature that things go on the basis of a popularity contest, awareness, how fast the messaging goes out, the type of draw, the way things make you feel. And so the meme coins have found their home in that part of human nature where people want to get on board something that seems exciting and fresh and sometimes irrelevant. It seems harmless, it's not scary. They're telling you up front not to take it too seriously, and because of all those dynamics, it can run the fastest and the furthest. And then, later on, when nobody's watching, it can get adopted into a position of influence and power. And that's the story that I'm going to tell you guys today about some of the meme coins, why they're relevant, why they're important, why they're popping off more than some of the altcoins that we're seeing right now that have really better use cases, better technology, but they're lagging these meme coins. And so I'm going to talk a little bit as to why, because I think that's an important topic. And I'm even going to do a breakdown video on that subject a little bit later so that I can get into more detail on it. But I'm just going to touch on it today. So why exactly did the Bitcoin rally, which typically is followed by Ethereum and the large cap alts, those have been relatively stagnant. Sure, they've come up off their lows, but they're not the ones that pumped. The meme coins pumped after Bitcoin pumped, and they bypassed the altcoins. There's the question, why did that happen? That's not normal. I've been telling you guys about how the waves of the pumps typically come, Bitcoin, Ethereum, the large cap alts, the micro coins, and then the meme coins. But this time around, everybody's been wondering who's holding on to some of their favorite legacy crypto projects and brand new projects, why they're really not doing what the meme coins are doing, because special attention and focus is being given on the meme coins. Some of the popular meme coins like Bunk, Shib, Doge, Pepe, Cock Inu, Ben the Dog. So why is there been this massive push to get meme coins out ahead? Well, I think there's something brewing that the market's getting ready to respond to. And that's a little bit harder for me to unwind for you guys, but let's give it a shot. Now, we all know that Dogecoin is the father of all of the meme coins, right? And it's actually been around for a number of crypto cycles. It's a survivor. It kept coming back, growing in popularity, and increasing in price. That's what gave birth to the idea that these other meme coins could find a place, the same place that Doge found. Now, if you notice, out of all of the meme coins, Doge has been coming up the slowest. Now, it's come up off its lows. It did a full 100% from under 10 to around 20 cents, but it's really not as impressive as we've seen with Shib and Bonk and Pepe and some of the others. But here's what I'm going to tell you guys, that Doge is the Bitcoin of the meme coins, which means that if Doge goes on fire, then the meme coins will follow and do even better. And right now, even though Doge has come up, it's really not taken off. And so one of the first things I did over this last weekend when Shib was popping off and I was doing some trading is I realized right away that Doge wasn't moving the way the other meme coins were moving. And so I sold my Doge bag, my swing trade Doge bag, and I piled it into the other meme coins that I was investing in. And it did way better than if I just hold Doge. But this morning, I took a position in Doge because I believe that something is brewing with Doge. So what's brewing? Okay, we got to go back in time. We got to go back to the last crypto cycle with Elon Musk. We know that Elon Musk, a billionaire, an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur with many successful businesses beneath his belt, he seemingly out of nowhere took his focus off of his very successful Tesla and SpaceX and other businesses and gave it to Twitter. Now, and right away, he did a couple things that year. He also positioned himself in the public. You all know the story. Saturday Night Live came out and called himself the Doge father. He happily embraced that idea and he aligned Doge with himself, right? And then I came out with a video back then saying, why is he doing this? Well, I think it's part of a master plan. In that video that I created over a year ago, I said that he is attempting to turn the X platform into what would be the US version of WeChat. Now, if you don't know what WeChat is, it's an Asian-based social media site. It can pretty much handle almost everything in your life, from your banking to your dry cleaning to your Ubering around. It's an all-in-one social media app, but the big thing that differentiates it from a lot of the American social media apps is the monetary side of it. Now, not to make this too complicated, but Meta, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg attempted to do this with crypto, and then he stepped away from it. Now, I don't believe he stepped away from it because he thought it was a bad idea. I think he stepped away from it because I think powerful people in the government said, we don't want you to go there. And I think he was in a different position than Elon, which kind of brings up the fact, I would say, obviously my view is Mark Zuckerberg is a guy who's very closely aligned with the government, and there's a strategy there. But Elon Musk seems to be doing the opposite. He tends to be fighting government, right? And so he does not seem to be afraid to go after the idea of integrating a monetary system, a cryptocurrency into X platform and taking it up into relevance into the way of life of most Americans and making it like the US WeChat. And so this has been brewing a long time. Now, I'm going to tell you guys that Tesla shares down pretty bad today. And there's reasons for that. We know that one of the biggest reasons why the shares fell off and didn't break above 315 as I had hoped that they would is because the economy remains strong and it doesn't appear that we're going to get cuts from the Fed on the interest rates. Matter of fact, there are some now speculating that we won't get any cuts this year. And that's not going to help car sales. It's not going to help any of the EV makers. And so all of them have been under selling pressure. Now, I do believe that we're going to see Tesla find a floor, and I believe it's going to be a great investment this year. And I still think that by the end of this year, as we get closer to rate cuts, I think the market's going to turn around and pump the stock back up. Now, how high will it go if it gets to 315 still within 2024? Not entirely certain, but I wouldn't underestimate it. But let's put that aside for a minute. So Elon, right, can't really do much there right now because he can't change the macro conditions that are causing that company to not do as well as it could. But what he could do is he could take his new baby forward, X platform, and turn it into the juggernaut that I believe that it could become, that bigger WeChat vision. But what he's got to do is integrate Dogecoin. But here's what I think specifically he's going to do. I think he's going to integrate Bitcoin and Dogecoin. They're both going to be acceptable currencies on his platform. He never sold any of his Dogecoin. He sold some of his Bitcoin, which he's up huge on right now. And we're going to see that he chose it. He's not going to turn his back. He's not going to pick a new meme coin. It's all about popularity. And if you understand that and you get it out of your mind that technology is not part of this, then you can understand why he is absolutely going to stay loyal to Dogecoin, why he's going to bring it to the X platform, and why it's going to cause Dogecoin to rip. And a lot of people aren't going to be prepared. They're not going to be in a position. But again, I typically tell you guys these things 1 or 2 months in advance, giving you the opportunity to do your own due diligence and to make your own decision. That's what today's video is. So I wanted to kind of explain or break down why he would bring Doge into the X platform in this way, beyond the perspective of WeChat. That's the basic business idea. But what will it accomplish on the platform? Well, it's going to improve the quality of posts. And we see this example in Reddit. They gave essentially their users the ability to give out medals to people that would put more time into producing a higher quality content. They could use US dollars to buy in and get these medals and create a tipping culture where individuals who are putting quality content online could receive these medals and receive some compensation. And so now I would love to do a breakdown. I'd show some funny videos about tipping culture. You guys know that America has gotten out of control with tipping culture, but it's a real thing. It's this idea that as we interact with anything or anyone, that we can give a reward to it and promote it. It really is tipping culture, even though it's got negative connotations, is actually very similar to what the cryptocurrency blockchain is meant to do. It's meant to be reactive and to create rewards, positive rewards for accomplishing certain tasks. And so essentially that's what the nature of tipping is. If you're getting the right service, you want to reward that person. If you're not getting what you want, you kind of want them to not be rewarded. And so on Twitter, bringing the opportunity for people to be able to tip and to reward content providers with cryptocurrencies could absolutely be a massive boost to Twitter. Some could argue that it was actually Elon's vision for cryptocurrency that caused him to purchase X and this bigger idea come out, right? Now, the other cool thing about using Dogecoin and Bitcoin is that whereas it's a limitation on the Reddit platform, once you buy their metals, that money is essentially lost money. You really have a hard time translating it back into cash. But in the case of Dogecoin, Dogecoin can get transferred on and off the platform with ease because it's an independent financial system. Now, what I just said has a ton of relevance as well, an independent financial system. The reason why Mark Zuckerberg ran into trouble with his integrated currency is because it wasn't. It was solely controlled by him, and it was created by his team. And so that's one of the reasons why the government had such a big problem with it. But the reason why Elon, who's doing something smarter, he was an early investor in Dogecoin, buying millions, and now bringing it to use, he gets the benefit of how it's going to pump the X platform. Plus, he doesn't have to run into dealing with the United States government because Dogecoin has been around for a long time. And so it's being grandfathered into use, right? It's completely distributed. There's nobody who's actually controlling it other than general governance. And so it causes him less red tape. That's the basic idea. Man, I sit down to make these videos and I'm thinking to myself, how can I get all this out? Hopefully I did. Guys, this is the Stocks with Josh show, and I'm going to get into one of the meme coin charts to make my point about why these have yet to pump. This initial pump was just the beginning, and yes, I bought the dip. I bought the dip actively this morning. Doesn't mean that these won't dip more. I can't promise you that they won't go down 50% the minute you get in. That's absolutely a possibility. But why I'm taking a risk position is that I believe that the big reward, the big pump, has yet to come. And I think it's going to be news driven, and it could be all kicked off by everybody understanding what I just shared with you today. Meme coins are not a joke. They're a popularity contest amongst the blockchains. And let me break that down for you in just a minute here. So where did Dogecoin came from? Well, it originally was essentially a software or blockchain spinoff of Litecoin, which was a fork of Bitcoin. So you could say that the original source code is rooted back to Bitcoin. Thus, you could say that Dogecoin is Bitcoin's meme coin, right? Now, SHIB came off of the Ethereum blockchain, right? And so this is one that became a competitor of Doge because it was believed that Ethereum is a competitor of Bitcoin. I actually don't view them as competitors, but they basically have different places in the world. But Ethereum wanted its own meme coin, and it got it through SHIB, and now we know that Solana has done the same thing with Bunk. So Bunk has been actually created by the Solana network and launched, but it's basically Solana, the ETH killer crypto blockchain. It's their meme coin. So it's war of the blockchains and their meme coins, right? Now Pepe. So okay, you're like, Josh, where all the rest of these fit in? Well, some of them are just second generation competitors to the first. Pepe is really by nature a direct competitor with Doge because it was sort of born out of the same spirit, right? It was a push to find a popular movement on one of the blockchains. Whereas the other three that I mentioned are really competitions between the blockchains, and whichever blockchain does the best over the coming years, that's going to be the meme coin that's going to be more dominantly used or identified with that blockchain. All right, I'm going to get into a chart here in just a minute, but let me just shout out the Discord where I'm dropping gems, charts, and trades. And since I've been actively trading crypto over the last weekend, I'm putting a ton of charts over there. Each and every one of those charts is a winning opportunity. On Friday, I gave a chart about boba crypto when it was nice and low and it hadn't popped off yet. And I said, guys, this one's looking pretty good. I took a nice position. It went up 55% from where I took my position. Everybody could have made a bag on that one. A ton of money that's being made here right now on these cryptos. Those are the type of posts I'm giving on the Discord. The Discord is the Stock Squad Patreon, myself, Stock Mo, Keenan Grace, Stock Up with Larry Jones, all giving great guidance over there. Click on the link. I'm going to leave it in the description of the video and in the top pinned comment for you to join the Patreon. Get more of this content in this hot moment of crypto trading. Don't be that guy at the beginning that's trying to do it alone, getting bounced back and forth between charts and ideas which may or may not play out correctly. Now it's time to go into the Bunk Chart, and I'm going to make some points about it, but this logic could be applied to all of them, and you're going to get more guidance and specific thoughts on each of them in the Discord, but we're going to use Bunk today as our example. Let's check that out. All right, we're going to look at the Bunk Chart, and specifically we're going to look at the RSI, okay? RSI stands for Relative Strength Index, and I want you to kind of understand the pump that we have gotten in Bunk as well as the other meme coins. And I just want to point out a couple things. We have a very strong pattern of making two large pumps with the meme coins. So we'll call this pump 1, we'll call this pump 2. Let's just talk about the characteristics of this price action and this momentum. You can see that the second pump wasn't as strong as the first pump. So basically there's a descending line here. But when you go into the chart and you look carefully at what the price action was like, you see that the initial pump got us over 400%, right? And then it cooled off for a moment. And then we had a second pump that actually went up another 400% in this case. And then even though momentum slowed from that point forward, you can see that the price really just continued to move higher and higher, right? Now let's go into the second big push that we got out of Bunk. And this is all going to make sense here in a minute. So again, we had two peaks on Bunk, right? And the same characteristics. The second peak wasn't as strong. The first peak from the base to the top gave us roughly a 280% move, and the second pump gave us a 286% move. So we've got two pumps again after we had pulled back and consolidated a little bit. Well, I think you guys can see where this is going. So we just had this massive move here with Bunk. And now we see actually, as far as momentum goes, we see that we had slowing momentum on Bunk until we got, and that gave us this sideways area of consolidation right here, which I always tell you guys that we often want to buy the breakout after sideways consolidation. It's how I knew the meme coins were going to take off the way they did, is because we were trending up out of sideways accumulation. So now I just want to point this out, right? What do we have here? We have the exact same thing that we had before. We've got our initial push up, our initial major thrust. We've come back. Where did we come back the last time? We came back and touched the top of the RSI, the 70% mark. The second time we came back, we touched the top of the RSI. We got another duplicate move. 400% was the first move. 400% was the second move. 280 was the first move. 280 was the second move. We've come back. We're at the top of the RSI. And I would suggest to you that if I'm right about some of these events, that the meme coins are going to begin to come out with some major news events. Ideally, it would be Doge and Elon who would trigger this next move. And I'm going to also comment on the fact that he triggered the last one. And so you have to know that it's very possible he could trigger the next one. So we went up here a total of 346%. And here's what I'm expecting. You're saying, Josh, what are you expecting? I'm expecting a less powerful momentum move up, right? A second thrust up, and a second major move up in price, another 393%, roughly from where we're at right now. So that would put a destination price of around 0.000145 on Bunk. I kind of went through that quickly, right? And each of the meme coin charts have very similar setups in the RSI. And I think that we are going to get a second pump on the meme coins. This is just round one. I think this pullback that we saw that's meant to scare people, you go in and you read the charts incorrectly. You go, well, this spike is higher than that spike, so this is probably the end of the move. No, things are moving very quickly in crypto. On the bigger topic of what's going to happen in the crypto market, I'm going to do some exploratory conversations with some other guys as to some of the scenarios that I see ahead of us. We don't know that we're going to get a follow through at the halving. And I, at the moment, believe that the only position of logic that I'm willing to take is that we are having early the event of the markup phase that we would have had at the halving event. Now, some people could argue we're getting ready to go into a super cycle breakout moment where it's going parabolic and nobody's prepared for it. Is that possible? Yes. We could be on the verge of that type of move, and I'm going to be a participant, I guarantee you, because money like this does not come along every day. I did not make the type of money that I've made over the weekend and been continuing to make. You can't make that kind of money trading small percentage moves on stocks right now. And so I'm going to go where the opportunity is, and obviously it's in crypto right now. And right now the opportunity appears to be amongst the meme coins. And so second pump coming, absolutely a buyer of the dip, positioning my account, and I think the party's just begun. And then there's one more dynamic in the charts I want you guys to see for yourself, and it's that the meme coins didn't give us a blow-off candle. Now you might say, well, Josh, isn't a tall red candle with a wick a blow-off candle? No, not necessarily. If you go back and you look at the different candles that some of the meme coin tops have given us, the one that we've got right now, the red candle we've got, is lower than the green candle. And I want, by definition, a blow-off red candle that's a wick that is above the highest point of the current tallest green candle. We don't have that. And so, what you guys get from me is this. I use indicators, oscillating indicators, and trend lines to track opportunities. But when the opportunity comes, I switch from the indicators, oscillators, and I go over to momentum, which is best seen in RSI and candles and candle patterns. And so, being a student of the candles, we don't have blow-off top candles for any of the meme coins right now, which again tells me buy the dip. But this is what I'm doing. It's not a suggestion for you to buy, sell, or hold, and all of the money that's at play for me, which is it's growing steadily, right? All that money, I could lose it and it wouldn't impact me at all. I would get one random side eye from my wife if I said, oh, we lost this bag of cash. She would be like, you did? Oh. And that'd be it. That'd be the extent of it. So if you've got money in any of these cryptos where it's going to cause stress in your relationships or a financial breakdown of some sort in your finances, then personally, I wouldn't invest it. I'm telling you the truth. I wouldn't advise you to do it. I've got a friend who's 65, and I was talking to him about his portfolio. He had about $1.5 million, which was all that he had, which is a nice chunk of change. He had it all in secured notes outside the country, okay? Which is basically debt of corporations that is not rated AA. And so I said to him, I was like, man, this is very sketchy. Especially if we have some of the economic crashes that are very much possible. That we've got indicators like that inverted yield curve that are pointing to problems down the road, black swan events, banking crises. I said, you know what? I wouldn't want to have all my money in that type of investment. I mean, it would be sketchy to have all that money right now in the SPY. Okay, it would be. That's why you diversify into other assets like bonds and real estate, especially as you get older. Now, if you're young and it's not going to hurt you, it's not going to cause you to miss a car payment, then to me, it makes sense to invest in crypto, right? If you know what you're doing. You don't want to be like the guy at the beginning who's trying to do it alone, getting beat back and forth between the bars, making bad decisions and bad calls, selling the bottom and buying the top. I don't want you to be that guy. That's what this video is about today. If you liked this video, I'd like you to hit the like, because that's pushing the video out to more viewers. And I also want you to join the Stock Josh fam by hitting this subscribe to make sure you get the coming videos. We're going to be diving deeper. These are money-making opportunities. Been a ton of great calls made on this page in recent days that have made a lot of people money. Take the time to read the comments and you're going to see that people have been making a ton of money following this page, because I have been sharing these opportunities not after they came, telling you about a trade I did that I never told you guys I was getting into. The biggest problem this page has had is that I tell you sometimes about trades that are coming that are a bit too early, right? Which really, they come to pass as I predicted, and giving you guys a ton of time to take your position, but they're scary because I'm in it a little bit early because I'm seeing what's coming down the road. And that's kind of what this video is about. What I'm seeing, we might see more of a pullback in these meme coins, but I absolutely see that this is not the end. We're going to get another pump, and that it's, for me, a good decision to be buying red so I can sell green in the days ahead and make some big, big money. Guys, thank you for joining me today. Peace and blessings. I've got some more videos coming to you on these subject matters. Don't miss a single one of them, because I think these are actually life-changing videos if you understand what I'm sharing. And if I can do a good job of sharing this idea with you, and we can make conservative investment decisions using stop losses, controlling our position size, not revenge trading, then there's a huge opportunity here. I'm glad that you guys are on this journey with me. Peace and blessings. Take care.